So beside me here, I have a 2026 Ford Maverick Lariat with the 2.5 liter hybrid engine, all-wheel drive. We're gonna do a walk around and a review on it. Let me know what you guys think. In front of me here, I have the 2026 Ford Maverick Lariat here in shadow black with the 2.5 liter hybrid engine. And honestly, this generation Maverick looks a lot better compared to the previous designed one. I think they've done a lot better job with the overall layout of the truck inside and out. So we'll start here at the front. We've got these C-shaped LED daytime running lights with LED lights. As you can see, they have the Maverick name in the headlight assembly. Now, as we carry over into the center here, you're gonna get a Lariat unique grille. We've got the Ford badge there in the middle with a camera underneath to encompass your full 360 camera. As you can hear, it just turned on since this is a hybrid. You've got your parking sensors down below on the bumper with some brushed aluminum also on the bottom of the bumper. But honestly, from a front profile view, I think they've done a good job with the design elements. But that is really it here at the front. Let me know what you guys think so far. We'll take a look underneath the hood and go over the hybrid engine. So underneath the hood here of this Ford Maverick Lariat, we've got the 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder. We've got 191 horsepower and 155 pound-feet of torque. Now this is mated to a CVT transmission, so it's quiet. It has a decent amount of power. You can get the 2-liter EcoBoost that gives you a lot more horsepower and torque, I would say, but it just depends on if you want better fuel economy. Now that's really it underneath the hood here. Let's take a look around the Maverick and go over its options. All right, so let's take a look around the Ford Maverick and we'll start with the tire and wheel setup. So we're sitting on a 19-inch wheel, 225/55 R19 is the tire size. We've got a brushed aluminum face with some black inserts, and we've got the blacked out Ford badge there. We've got the carpeted liner inside there, as we can see. No air suspension on this little truck here. We've got the Lariat name with this kind of like fake vent here on the fender. Blacked out mirror cap, camera underneath to encompass your full 360 camera. And this is a glimpse of the truck from a side profile view. Now it's based off the Bronco Sport and Ford Escape. So you're gonna get a small bed. I believe it's about 5 foot. You get keyless entry only on the front 2 doors. And then as we open inside, you don't really need a running board. This is the truffle trim, as they call it, smoked truffle trim. So it's kind of like a beige with some blue, and you get some like orange or reddish stitching. So we'll start with the door panel. All hard touch plastic here at the top. You've got a two-tone with blue and this kind of beige. Soft touch here where your arm would lay. A door handle here, if you will. You've got your window control, lock and unlock, Bang & Olufsen speaker, some more storage here at the bottom. Nothing here on the door sill, but it is all blue here at the bottom. And then this here is what the seat looks like. So it's kind of like a fake leather, but honestly, it's very comfortable and it feels pretty good. You've got the Maverick name there on both front seats. And then again, it's nice and soft. You don't get automatic seat adjustments here, but it is manual. And then here you've got your lower glove box area. And then this is the dash, again, two-tone with that kind of like beige color. You've got some storage in here, which we'll get into, but this is essentially what it looks like over on the passenger side. You also get a sunroof. Now this is where things get interesting. This is the back. So this is what the door panel and back seats look like. So again, same type of material and design. It's mostly blue with this beige color. So I would say it's definitely an acquired taste, but it reminds me a lot of the 2018 Limited F-150 interior color. But you've got all hard touch here, soft here, door handle, window control, and then door handle as well up top, and then some more storage. Nothing here on the door sill. And then this is what, again, that seat looks like. And then you have a little lever here, and you can actually push the seats up to get more storage underneath, which is pretty nice. Inside here, you're gonna get USB-Cs with a 120, so that's also a nice thing to note. Now, I will show you guys how I would get in here as someone who's about 5'11". All right, so before we hop in, the one thing that I like about this truck is the door actually opens almost 90 degrees. So that's gonna help you get in. You're not gonna need a running board. I'm about 5'11", and obviously, like you could see, I'm taller than the truck, but it's based off the Bronco Sport and the Ford Escape, so you can't really expect it to be, you know, mid-size or full-size space in here. But getting inside, it is easy. You're gonna have to duck your head, and you know, if the seat is where it is right now, for a long cruise, I can see it being pretty uncomfortable, honestly, but it is what it is. I mean, you can't expect it to have a lot of room. The headroom's not bad. You're gonna get an indent here, you know, for taller passengers or if you're wearing a hat, you know, you've got that going for you. The seats themselves, even though they're like a fake leather, they are pretty comfy, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it feels pretty good. You've got a plug here, your 120, but overall, I mean, it is what it is. You've got speakers here on both sides too. Yeah, that's really it. And then to get out, it's pretty easy. You know, like I said, you're not gonna need a running board or anything like that. So let me know what you guys think. So that is it for the back seat point of view. Here is a look at that back tire and wheel. So same dimensions here in the back. You've got a plastic liner here in the fender, and this one does not have leaf springs. It basically just sits on struts and coils. But that's it for a side profile view. Let's take a look at that back tailgate. So in the back here of the Ford Maverick, we'll start here in the center. We've got the Maverick name stamped right there. We've got your Ford badge there, camera underneath. We've got a light here, and then here is your tailgate handle with a lock key port there. Now you got parking sensors there on the bumper. You do have a tow package here, and with a tow package, you're gonna get 4,000 pounds of towing. You've got your tail lights here. Now, if we open this up here, you've got a spray and bed liner here, as we can see. You do get a 120 plug here with tailgate lights. You've got some storage in here as well. Rear sliding window, which is automatic here in the Lariat, but overall, it's actually a decent amount of room for a little truck like this. And then we can close this up, and that is really it for the back here. Let's take a look at those seats behind the driver. I just want to say thank you to Kitchener Ford here in Kitchener, Ontario. Go see my boy Connor. He'll hook you up with a great deal on one of these units. So taking a look at the seats behind the driver, it's basically the same over here as it is on the passenger. Blue here at the top, your door handle here, window control, and then you're going to get this two-tone blue with beige, soft here, nothing here on the door sill. And this is what the seats look like. So again, soft and plush two-tone. And then here's a look also at your USB-Cs with your 120 plug. And then here's also a look at the indent for your passengers, for their heads. That's it for the back here. Let's take a look at the front. All right, so taking a look inside on the driver's side of things, here is the door panel. So you're gonna get that two-tone here, soft here where your arm would lay, your door handle, window and mirror controls here, lock and unlock, Bang & Olufsen speaker, nothing here on the door sill. You're gonna get automatic seat adjustments here. And then over here is what the seat looks like. Maverick there in the seat, but it looks and feels pretty good. Over on the left side of the steering wheel, you're gonna get your fuel cap to open, and then your light controls. And this is a telescopic steering wheel, but it is manually adjusted. Now let's take a look inside and go over its options. So we are inside the Ford Maverick Lariat here. So we'll start with the steering wheel. We got a leather wrap steering wheel here. Over here is your cruise control with your lane centering, with volume. And over here on the right is going to be your controls for this display here. So if you hit mode, you can go into different modes. You got normal, eco, slippery, and then we can go the other way, sport, and tow haul. So we'll go back to normal. You've got your toggles here for your tuning, and then your call hang up, call pickup with voice command. Now behind the steering wheel is going to be your toggle for your wipers, and this is going to be for your lights. Now if you click this button here, it's going to give you your menu, which you can scroll through, and depending on what you want, you can basically pick your My View, and then you can go to your trip one, EV coach, and then your music, navigation, and whatnot. So that is controlled via this button over here. Now you do get a digital display screen here right in the center, and then you've got your temperature for your coolant, and then obviously we're almost out of gas here. But overall, the front area looks good. You don't get a heads-up display. You got a hard touch plastic here, and it is blue. You get some more storage there at the top with your Bang & Olufsen speaker, and then again, more blue here over on the passenger side. But from a layout point of view compared to the previous generation, I gotta say this generation Maverick looks a lot better. Now here is your display screen here. You can control this side here just by scrolling through. It does have navigation. You've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got dual zone climate, which is also one thing to note, and heated seats on both sides. They are not cooled, only heated. Now, a couple things to note here. You've got your home button. So when you hit your home button, it'll bring you to this screen, which gives you 3 different elements: your audio, your navigation, and then you can also add your Bluetooth. You can hit settings here. You can go through your different settings. So it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can hit your home button again, and then you can go to your truck features. So you've got different features here, your driver assistance, and then you can hit back again. You've got different apps here that you can control. So again, your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you can even watch YouTube. So that is one thing to note. The screen here in this generation looks a lot better. Now down below here, we do have different settings here for your Pro Trailer backup. You've got your max defrost here, your different camera angles. So it does have a 360 camera, and you can control which camera angle you want. And then you got your tuning buttons here. But I wish they did put climate control buttons instead of having it into the screen. So the only way to control your climate is actually in the screen here. And then you also have heated mirrors on both sides. So that is also cool. This down below here is to control your rear sliding window. You've got USB-Cs. You got more storage underneath here, which is also nice. You've got 2 cup holders here. You've got your traction control and then some more storage over here if needed, and then also more down below here. Now you do have a center console area here with some reddish, it's kind of like actually a bronze stitching that's in the seats and also here in the center console. If we lift it up, it is pretty deep, but it doesn't really house anything else other than just storage. We'll close that. Up here, you also have your sunroof control with your lights, and then here's your mirror, and then you also have your transmission select. So a lot of the things carried from like the Ford Escape or the Bronco Sport is going to be integrated into this truck. But that is really it, guys, for an interior point of view. Let me know what you guys think. Let's go outside, give you guys my final thoughts, and talk price. So let's talk price. 2026 Ford Maverick Lariat here with the hybrid. We're sitting at $50,545 Canadian. Let me know what you guys think about the Ford Maverick in the comments. I mean, I remember when the $50,000 range was around, you're getting like a Ford Ranger, right? But now that's almost a fully loaded Maverick. Let me know what you guys think about the Ford Maverick, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.